As the next one is Farmula, Ibrahim.
Hi, good afternoon. Let me quickly share my screen. Can you see my screen clearly?
Yeah. From which country do you speak into us?
I'm in Nigeria.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So good luck and let's start.
All right, then, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ibrahim Abdul Malik, and I head operations at Farmula, where we're building the future of food distribution in Africa. I'm building it alongside two other stellar colleagues of mine, and we have over 2 decades of experience spanning engineering, agri-tech, and fast-moving consumer goods. Now, if there's anything you know about Africa, you know we're big on our food. The industry employs over 70% of our labor force, and we spend over 50% on average of our incomes on food. Yet, the B2B distribution of food is largely inefficient. This means that almost every aspect of food distribution is still manual. We are looking at the fact that that's a core problem. And the fact that there are no digital systems means that there is no data. We can't collect the data needed to make our decisions data-driven manually. We need to automate that process. At the end of the day, when you look at players across the chain, they operate in silos. So when you look at it, you see that there's a lot of failure of interoperability between the players. What Farmula is aiming to do is to change the way food is being distributed fundamentally through 3 steps. We reduce fragmentation by building integrated logistics and partnerships with suppliers. We increase automation by building out proprietary apps for distributors and retailers to be able to interact. And then through their interactions, we're able to build real-time data that enables us to manage relationships between retailers and distributors. We're currently running our pilots, and every week we see 11% 11% growth of our retailers, 49-minute average delivery time that we've been able to record over 1,300 orders, $1.2 million of lifetime sales recorded, and 10% week-on-week growth of distributors that are onboarded on the platform. Each time a retailer wants to place an order, they can do this either through phone calls or over WhatsApp. It's not compulsory for them to download any new applications. Now we send those requests to the distributors to confirm that the order is available, and then we send it to third-party logistics who pick up and deliver to the retailers. Now, each time these transactions happen, on a 100,000 naira transaction, which is approximately 220. Our edge is we're building the first full-scale solution for B2B food supply chains in Africa. We're giving retailers a solution that allows them to be able to seamlessly get inventory that they want. We're making a dead simple software for third-party logistics to be able to onboard themselves and ensure that we're doing less than 60-minute delivery windows. And distributors also have a simple solution that allows them to automate their primary processes, purchasing from producers and selling to retailers. And when you look at the flywheel of activities that happen, we're able to fundamentally change the way food is being distributed between businesses. This allows us to gather data that changes how food is produced and even ultimately priced. What we're looking to do over the next 2 years is to build up a credit rating between the retailers that are having interactions on the platform and expand within West Africa, North African, and East African markets. Welcome to the future of food distribution in Africa. Thank you.
Thank you so much for a great speech. And it's time for Q&A.
Abraham, I'm Lisa. We've been working on similar projects in Australia, particularly with COVID times and the impacts of disruption to supply chains. I'm interested to understand the traction that you've had with the corporate players and whether or not InsurTech is an angle to your business.
Yeah, so in terms of the corporate players, the value proposition that we're offering to them is the data that we're able to collect from the field. As at now, they leverage very expensive consultants in order to gather data, but what we're doing is we're looking at the actual interactions between the distributors who stock their goods and retailers who buy their goods, and then we're giving them access to this data. In terms of InsurTech, the angles that we've been exploring, I specialize, especially with the retailers. What you notice is a lot of times they need access to credit, and insurance does boost their the robustness of the credit that they are able to get access to. So what we're looking at is simple daily pay solutions that allow them to insure their goods against burglary and arson. And lastly, what we're also looking at is the fact that since it's a very hectic business, they go days when they are ill. So there's a bit of kickback that they can get when they do not even open their stores at all. I hope I was able to answer your question.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Graham, I have a question.
Yes, please.
All right.
So you mentioned in your presentation that you charge about $2 per transaction, and you have had about $1 million in transaction on your platform already, right? What is the kind of revenues and gross margins you have made on the current transactions?
So total sales that we've been able to do is $1.2 million. And the way that we make money is we charge very slim margins to the distributors because they actually make slim margins. So we charge 0.65% on average to the distributors. For the retailers, we give them a fixed charge for every order that they make. And then for the logistics who do the pickup and deliveries are able to access new markets each time a retailer places an order. So we charge them up to 30% for every delivery that they make.
What revenues have you generated from these transactions so far?
So far, I've been able to generate $6,800.
6,800? Great, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other feedback or questions? Yes, please. Okay. So, Kate, let's continue.
Yes.
All right, then, thank you.
No? Any other questions? Okay.